so much rhythm, grace, and debonair for one man. No. And then he had the nerve to twinkle his left toe, but through his knee, got the feeling in his head, y'all. Oh, come on, baby. Won't you find yourself near me? Never heard a sound. Oh, he's my man. And he likes to jam.
Hey guys, nice to see you all. Can you all hear me? Could I get a thumbs up if you can hear me? Brilliant. Cool to have you all with us. We've got a pretty exciting day. About 2 hours, we might go a little bit over. I hope that's okay with everyone, but we've got about 16 exciting pitches for you guys here. Some founders who have been working over the past month. And yeah, we're really excited. We've got a few people who have joined us from our team who are here. Igor, Victoria, I think John's watching, Lara, Dimitri, everyone's here to kind of watch you guys. We've got a few judges as well who I will introduce soon enough. But it's a really, really exciting day. So short pitches, something which you guys have been working towards. Let's keep it easy, have some fun. I'm going to go through a few slides now to give you guys a bit of an insight about what we've been doing. We've got some viewers who aren't on the program who'll be watching it on YouTube. We're going to share it publicly. We've got people who have asked for the playbacks, and we've also got the judges here. So I want to make it as inclusive as possible for everyone that's going to be joining us. So I'll get into a bit about Paralect. Obviously, it's all Nano is a brand of Paralect. Please just stop me, ask me any questions. Don't feel the need to keep it really formal. Just shout stuff out, heckle at people, do what you like. We're here for it. Cool. So yeah, it's demo day. We've got two of us that are hosting today, Igor and myself. So I'm a venture partner at Paralect. I effectively run a few of the programs. My goal is really to bring amazing startups into our pipeline to work with us in the long term. Some of you already know I'm the founder of Body, a health tech startup, and I kind of build that outside of doing this work as well. So it's really busy, but it allows me to learn from founders every day and build my own. So that's really exciting. And I'll let Igor introduce himself now.
Hey, so I'm Igor, and I'm CTO in Paralect. I'll share you more about Paralect in the next slide. But I'm also founder of the product called Momentum, which I also tell you about later. And I was participating with this product also in this challenge to make it fun for me too. So, yes.
That's great. Cool. So I think, Igor, if you could just tell us a bit about Paralect and the backgrounds for everyone who doesn't know about what the company does.
Yeah, sure. So Paralect is a startup studio founded in 2009, which means we're already 13 years old. And what we're doing, we are building products for our clients, like on the paid basis, on the equity basis. And we're doing it for like 13 years. And we were pretty successful in some of the products. And our biggest partner's exit is $1.1 billion. And a few years ago, we launched a new program for us, not a paid program, but equity-based program called Accelerator, which is called Meet Us Now. And one of the judges, Landon, he actually met us through this Accelerator program. But what we did there, instead of selling service, we found founders and we exchanged our service in exchange to equity. But what we found after 2 years that we need, first of all, we need more founders passing through these like challenges. We need more challenging requirements for founders, and we need some system to monitor actual progress so we can help, so we can direct and so on. So that's how we got to this idea of NanoGrid, and Chris will tell you more about what is Nano is, but basically what it is, it's proven founders grid with putting the work daily and showing it to the world. So that's what we think is needed to move your startup forward. And another part is setting the goals and creating content. So that's a few parts. So yeah, I'll tell you more later, but let's go to the next slide.
No worries. Yeah, I thought I was on mute for a second. Yeah, so like Igor said, we kind of created this whole pipeline, and everyone here who joined Nano Grit is aware of this. And our goal is effectively to build some amazing businesses, to kind of build on what Igor said about creating that pipeline and helping businesses from the start. It's really difficult. Truck outside for a company like us to kind of go outside and try to sell software development and just be kind of like everyone else, like an engineering house. What's more important is actually to like help businesses build a community, kind of see them go from idea to something that's investable, help them raise. And then by investing early on without looking for anything in return, hopefully these startups have amazing experiences and want to work with us in the future. That's kind of our goal. As you see over here, it's like our first stage is the Nano Grit Challenge. It's building in public and growing waitlist. Our goal was to be really low touch and just enable startups to do as much as possible in about 30 to 31 days. All the startups that are pitching today are vying for a cash prize of $3,000. That's put up by us, and Kickstart for free. So that's another product that we've got at Paralect that we're offering to startups. Our goal eventually with this is to not just offer a 3,000 cash prize. We want to eventually raise our own fund to be able to invest into these businesses, or at least the most exciting businesses taking part. So it's something that's much more scalable and much more interesting to founders, so we can attract a wealth more of exciting startups. 6 of the startups taking part today will go into our next stage. We call that the boot camp. And that's effectively where we want to help some businesses kind of build up a product scope, build up an early strategy, the first paid users, and then ultimately up to 3 of them will go into our accelerator, which Igor already mentioned. So it's kind of creating an awesome funnel of startups that can work with us in the long term. Right now, on the cohort that we had during this challenge, we had about 65 applications prior to the start, reviewed all of them individually. About 20 came on. That actually rose to about 23. A few of them very low touch, and we've ended up with about 16 startups that want to pitch today from around the world. So we didn't limit the geography. We kept it as open as possible, with the sole factor being that they had to be a software-based business that was looking to go into the SaaS space. But yeah, it's really exciting because we got people from different communities around the world coming together, sharing insights. People started their own chats, their own communities without us having to push them to do it. And I think just playing a part in enabling that is what really excites Igor, myself, and the team. So I think Igor is really good at explaining his own product. So I'll pass it over to him to tell us a bit about Momentum and how the founders have used it over the past month.
Mm-hmm. Let me tell you, it's about through the problem. So our problem as a company who organized this event, how do we track all these 20 founders and what they're doing and what they progress? Do they require them to fill some forums, or I don't know, send us some messages? So it will be really clumsy. So instead, we're building on this set of tools, Momentum, that we say that helps to launch startups really quickly. But primary use case for Momentum for the challenge was featuring posts. So every time founders did some posts in Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok, or posted some article, they can feature this link in their stream. And everyone is got notified through the Slack channel. So that's how we kept the community engaged and added some visibility to other posts, because it's so important to get this initial support when you're starting posting content. So that's the first use case. And the second use case, you can see users on the right. Every founder, they opened their analytics. So everyone was able to see the number of users on the website, the referrals that they're coming through. So that's how we promote building open startups and helping other people with open knowledge. So that's our little tool momentum.
Great. And not to forget, you launched on Product Hunt, didn't you? And had a huge success yesterday.
Right. I can tell a bit later about this, but yeah, thanks to all the community support, all that we got launched on Monday on Product Hunt, and we crushed it. We really was like 5x times more than like closest competitor. So unfortunately, we didn't even feel the competition. So I thank you everyone who supported this, and I owe you, and I'll support your products, and looking forward to the launch.
Fantastic. Cool. And over to the actual demo day today. So we've got 16 pitches, 4 minutes each, and the 4 judges will have the chance to ask one killer question after each pitch. Each of you have kind of got a 4-minute slot plus about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes. So when it comes to the question, we assume that'll take a few seconds, and then you've kind of effectively got about 1.5 minutes, maybe less, to kind of be really articulate and concise with your answer. 4 judges who I'll introduce in just a second. They're basically looking for 3 things, really, and they're going to kind of rate you on them. So they're going to look for the problem, what problem you're solving, what your approach is, and what's the traction you built. Now, we all know that a larger pitch deck really includes a lot of things like your market size, your financials, all that other, I'll say, boring stuff, to be honest. Maybe not boring for many, but we're just focused on kind of the high level things that really bring out what you've done, how you came to the problem, what your unique insight is, and what you've done as a founder. The 2 key metrics, they're basically going to rate you out of 10 on the founder and the business itself. So the founder is more about your personality, how you pitch, your energy, what you've done to achieve your traction. And then the business is more about, are you solving an interesting problem? Is your approach rather interesting? Is there some metrics that back it up? And then we have the one winner. So it's really exciting. We'll try to keep it really snappy. I kind of rely on you guys as founders to share your screen really easily. Don't make it complicated. Be really simple. Once you know it's shared, just get going. Don't mess around, and just have some fun. That's what's the most important thing at this point. I'll quickly introduce our awesome judges. So we have Mark Cohen, who is the sole partner of Unbundled. He invests in early stage digital tech startups, and his real ethos, which I resonated with well as someone leading Nano with Igor, is that he is building and investing in public. So if you follow his socials on LinkedIn, Twitter, you'll see that he shares a lot about what he does on a day-to-day basis. Mark, maybe you give everyone a little hello, you give us a little wave.
Hey everybody.
Great. We have KP. Many of you have seen KP in our Nano community. You follow him already on Twitter. He's quite live. He's a huge advocate of what we're doing here at Nano. He's an angel himself, and well, he calls himself a building public guy, and I think that really doesn't need much more explanation. He's an investor himself, an angel, and so we're really delighted to have him. Landon, serial founder, ex-Googler, active angel. He was backed previously with his previous startups by YC, Sequoia, and Craft Ventures, and he's currently building his own stealth startup, which has already raised a pre-seed round. So he's an investor himself, an angel himself, so he's seen things from both ends of the scale. And finally, we've got Deep Kakad, who is a budding entrepreneur. He has brilliant relationships with VCs and investors in the early stage space, venture scout, venture partner, and he is got some awesome investor relations. He does a lot of talks and teaches on product management and marketing for early stage startups in collaboration with some Ivy League universities as well, including Northwestern and National University of Singapore. So really interesting people. I hope you're all excited to be here to judge some of the startups we have. To the startups, these guys have taken time out of their day. Hopefully they see some amazing businesses that they want to either invest in or be a part of in the long-term journey, or at least shed a bit of advice for, but they will be the ones rating you today. So it's pretty exciting. Cool. I've got a little teaser for you guys. Big old Norris is here for us. And we'll get going.
That's what Nano's a little bit like, some people do yoga to relax, whereas I have to hit something and work out at high intensity. Nano's more boxing than it is yoga. You know, of course.
Help me quit my day job so I can work on my passion project.
Free business tip from Nike founder Phil Knight's book. Sorry about my hair, I just got back from the gym. Hey there, this is Hyde from Woodpecker. Yeah, that's my real name.
Great. Igor, did you have something you wanted to?
Yeah. So I'll be completely true to you. It's me. I wanted to hear some Scooter before our pitches because let's make it fun. Because every one of you, I'm really proud of you. I'm really proud of your traction. Guys were staying at nights, staying on the weekends, pitching, like me before the damn day. I know they pitching to the quiz too. Like everyone really works hard, and it's cool that when you work hard and you go through like depression, you then actually got some results. And I think we got actually really great results. So everyone, like relax, like be yourself. Like be really cool and tell what you build. So that's what I wanted to say. And thank you. Let's start.
Brilliant. First on the list, we have Alex Bell from Game Time Hero.
All right. You ready to do this? Got to get my reps in real fast. You ready? All right. We pumped? We pumped? Okay, sorry, I missed the time. Hi everyone, how you guys doing today? My name is AR, ex-Googler like Landon, CTO of Game Time Hero.
Hi everyone, I'm Brittany Bell, CEO and doing the ops of Game Time Hero.
Yeah, and today we're excited to tell you all about our company and tell you a little bit of the history. Let me go ahead and share my screen real fast. Hopefully everyone can see this, and I'll start this up. So to give you a little bit of the history of this, as soon as it starts, let's see, there we go. To give you a little bit of the history of this, before we actually start there, how many of us played sports as kids? Like, right, I did. Brittany, yeah, I see you raising some of your hands. We built a lot of connections playing sports, right? However, as we move, we travel, we get older, we take new jobs, these connections become harder to make. And it's harder to integrate into communities playing sports, really. And I noticed this as I moved to Seattle from Minnesota. It was hard to get established into sports. So we really sat down, kind of like figured out what the pain points were, talked to a lot of organizers, and really wanted to come up with a solution for this problem. And I think we have a really good one in Game Time Hero.
We ultimately spent hours and hours talking to people just like you, finding out why people are active, what they like, why they like it. And what we found is that people want to stay active, that in fact, 66 million people in the United States play sports daily.
66 million.
66 million. Game Time Hero is a platform that as a team organizer, you can find out who's showing up for your game on Friday night and who's going to be out of town. You'll know which players are coming. You'll be able to do payments on the portal so you don't get stuck with the final bill. And you can throw away your Excel spreadsheets, throw away the Venmo requests, throw away all of the WhatsApp groups with this platform.
Yeah. So like she said, this is something we're super proud of. And we've talked to a lot of people, showcase this app, showcase like some of the pain points. And we're really building a lot of like positive feelings in the community about this. So what have we done for the last 30 days? Well, we were part of the Nano Grit program, and we really set some impressive goals for ourselves. And needless to say, we've achieved all of our goals and excelled all of them. So we had a goal of getting 100 added people to our wait list. We started at like 97. We're at 203 now for the wait list of people who are eager to get on this site. We have 184 upvotes between Nano HQ and 21 on Product Hunt. We just launched Sunday. So I think we're one of the first runners for upvotes on Nano HQ, and we're super excited about that. But one of the biggest parts of this is the 22 user reviews and testimonials. So these are people who play sports, people who are excited about the app, and they gave us feedback. They all were showed some kind of Figma screens or the MVP demo of the app, and all of them gave us feedback on the app, and they all loved it. The next steps for us is we've already hired an app development team to get started. They'll be done sometime in July, August. We're going to try to get 500 on the wait list. We're doing some beta testing in the next month, and hopefully with everyone's support, we're going to be launching in fall, and we're super, super stoked. So that's Game Time Hero. Thank you for listening, guys. Yeah. Good timing on the music.
Fantastic, guys. Really, really articulate and concise. I'll pass it on to one of the judges for a killer question.
How are you going to go find your clients?
Good question. So we've built a network of people here in Minnesota, where we're currently staying, who are organizers, sports players themselves. And from the first 200, we already have people that are early commitments, right? So outside of that, the organizers will bring players themselves. The players will log onto the app, put their own teams on side of it. So we're going to build a community kind of like that. We're going to start city by city. Minnesota's first. Since we lived in Seattle, we have the same situation in Seattle. We're going to do the same situation there. And then we're going to launch a big campaign, because having really saturated markets of sports players already before we even launch to the general public is something I think crucial for a sports app like this.
Both Minneapolis and Seattle also have huge numbers of sports leagues, sports players. And so we've been looking at all of that data as well, and are confident that we can explode in those markets.
Fantastic. Great job, guys. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Woo!
Cool. Norris, do you want to go next with Carousel?
Let's see if I can work out how to share my screen. Help me out, somebody.
So isn't it sharing?
No.
What's wrong? You want to hear some jokes?
How's that?
We can see it here.
You should see the little green button in the middle.
You're on mobile though, right? So it might be somewhere else.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Oh yeah. Can we see it?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. Hello, everybody. My name's Norris Panton. I'm a fitness industry veteran. I'm the co-founder of Carousel Boxing, and we're building an intelligent audio exercise platform. The idea of the platform is that it allows fitness trainers to help motivate their clients. I've got a really good experience in the fitness space. I started sort of as a club manager, worked my way up to board director in the gym game. So I sort of understand what it is people want from the fitness. And we've started with boxing because all my gang just love to fight. So the problem that we're trying to overcome is that 70% of people want to be fitter and healthier, but the existing solutions, going to the gym, most people don't like it. The gym can be really intimidating. all those people in the lycra and the vests put a lot of people off. And then personal training is the other option, but it's super expensive. A couple of sessions a week might cost you £30 a session. So it's too much for most people. So I teamed up with my boxing coach and we've created a solution that we think will help people to get fitter and healthier, something they can fit into the pocket, fit into the budget. The solution's super simple. So there's 2 products. The first one's just a pre-recorded audio workout. And audio works really well if you're doing something where you can't focus on a screen. So if you're boxing, running, cycling, almost anything that you do outdoors, audio's better than video coaching. And then the second thing is personal training using motion sensors. We use machine learning to understand your movement, and then we can give you direction, feedback, praise. We can provide you with personal training just using your voice assistant on your phone. And we're the only platform that's using motion sensors this way. So audio generally is in growth as a medium. If you think about a podcast, if you think about audiobooks or music streaming, or even just voice notes, audio is definitely a growth space, and audio exercise is growing too. So one of the competitors on the slide with you raised $3 million, and in May, they had 7,000 downloads of their app. One of their direct competitors, a company called Aptiv, raised $50 million, but they only had 1,000 downloads in May. And what that goes to show is it's all about the execution, not just how much money you've got. So our product is a SaaS product. It's a PaaS product when you add the sensors. And what we do is we sell the product to personal trainers or fitness trainers so that they'll recommend it to the clients. And then we sell it to exercisers so they'll talk to personal trainers about the product. And that way we've got this virtuous circle of recommendation. Traction was really good in May. I managed to smash all my targets. I got big on LinkedIn. I was really surprised that people got my sense of humor. And you know what? I realized that actually I've got a bit of a following in the fitness world. People know who I am because I did some good work in fitness. And over half of my new connections, I think it's nearly 400 now, half of my new connections are actually fitness trainers who are my target market. And the funny thing is, right, I smashed my wait list, but I did it in like 5 days because I had to rebuild the website and I didn't get it done till the 25th of May. So 5-6 days, we've managed to add 317 people to the wait list. And we actually did that because we still coach people face to face, and we held them to ransom, told them they've got to sign up to the wait list or they can't train. But we know them, they love us, it's all cool. We didn't hurt anybody. But the best part of the traction thing, the best part of Nano for me was it changed my behavior. Now I can just get up and post. I don't plan it. I don't think about, I should plan it. I should think about it, but I just do it automatic now. And it's made a real difference to our traction. And I've worked out what we're building. We had a year of ifs, buts, and maybes, a load of false starts. And now we're crystal clear what we're building. We rebuilt the website again during the month of May. One VC actually reached out directly to us, and that like never happens ever. But we just told them they've got to join the queue, man. There's a queue. I've got another thing with a VC coming up. I've got another pitch day on the 7th of June. I had a really big month, and I was actually massively distracted because I spent 8 days at this tribunal, employment tribunal, and I managed to win that. I gave the barrister and the legal team a spanking. So it's been a really good month, no matter what happens, and I'm grateful. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you, Norris. Slightly over time, but I was being really nice because I feel like you were taking us on an emotional journey there. But I'll give it to the judges for a killer question.
All right, I'm going to attempt to ask a question. That's okay. Norris, great pitch of the energy. One question is, what is something that you learned about your users and the early adopters who are on the wait list and talking to them that you didn't know maybe a month ago before you did the Nano challenge?
I guess what I learned is they're prepared to try what you've got. In my head, my product had to be perfect. It had to be 100% in my heart, in my head, before I wanted to promote it. But actually, yeah, let's give it a go. Send us a recording, we'll try it. They're keener to help you than I thought they would be.
Great stuff. Thanks, Norris. We now move on to Kavita, who is the founder, along with her co-founder Richard, I believe, I'm not sure if he's here, I didn't see his name, of a startup called Hoku.
Hello. Okay, I'm going to try and share the right screen. Can everyone see the screen?
Yep.
All good. Let's make sure. That's sweet. So, hello. I'm Kavita, an engineer who quit my job to build something that changes the way people get healthy. Today, I'm here to talk to you about Hoku. So, the good news first. If you just turned 40 in Europe or US, based on average life expectancy, you have at least another 40 years to live. But the bad news, about a half of that will be spent in poor health. To be exact, that is 18 healthy years lost per person. The crazy thing is, it doesn't have to be this way. 80% of how healthy you are, including your risk of chronic disease, comes down to your lifestyle. Unfortunately, as we all know, switching to a healthier lifestyle isn't the easiest thing to do. For most of us, it requires motivation, the right tools, and often a little bit of assistance. Yet, most existing health apps are too generic, don't take into account your lifestyle and pace of change, or only work if you are already motivated. The end result, people who have the most to gain from making healthy lifestyle changes aren't getting the help they need. We created Hoku to solve this problem. Hoku is your personalized health coach that removes all the friction in your health journey, making it incredibly easy and a little bit fun for anyone to become the healthiest version of yourself. Hoku syncs to all your health data, learns your health profile and preferences, and then gives you everything you need to optimize your health. It can generate custom meal plans and exercise routines, review your workouts, meals, and sleep, and gives you instant health advice tailored just to you. Most importantly, your Hoku coach motivates and supports you in exactly the way that works for you. If you prefer positive reinforcement, your coach will give you that. More of a visual learner, then expect a lot of videos. Got a product hunt launch coming up and don't have time to go to the gym? Your coach adapts to that. By constantly learning from you and exactly what makes you tick, Hoku is able to take anyone from intention to truly lasting behavioral change. We believe our combination of AI, behavioral psychology, and a fun, relatable product will allow us to deliver personalized health support at scale that is quick, smart, and costs less than $5 a month. Our early traction has been super exciting. Our landing page went live a month ago, and since then we've had 8,000 users to our site, all driven by organic traffic from Reddit and Twitter. We have 1,250 people signed up to our waitlist and 3,500 people who have tried one of our demos. We're confident we can build on this early success. My co-founder Richard and I have spent the last 10 years working in technical and product leadership roles at some of London's fastest growing startups. We founded a B2C healthy aging company 2 years ago, and so are familiar with the consumer health tech space and excited to bring all of that experience to Hoku. 1 month in with Nano, and we're already here pitching in front of some awesome people. In 5 years, our mission is to extend healthy life expectancy with Hoku for millions worldwide. We're excited about making that happen, and we hope you are too. Thank you.
That was extremely well practiced. 4 minutes on the dot. Great stuff. I think Deep's got a question for you.
I do. Hey, amazing. Bow down for the presentation. I mean, superb, especially we need to appreciate the fact that, hey, great story, great hook that you started with, great flow of how it started and where it ended, right? It's an amazing metrics, of course. Now, the question I have, as an entrepreneur or as someone who likes to keep working all the time, I do not have a physical block in terms of starting to have a healthy routine, but I have purchased gym memberships like 3 times. I go there for a couple of days, but then I don't, right? So it's more of a mental block, which is you need to convince me that it's going to be important for me. You need to hook me within the product. So what are some of the, and you did mention behavioral psychology. So what are some of the psychological hooks or biases or tricks, tactics, whatever you want to say, that you might have figured out that you would use to, retain these people within the platform?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, you are exactly the kind of person that would use Hoku because, that's exactly the problem with a lot. And I'm very similar. It's a problem with a lot of health apps. They're great if you are the kind of person who goes to the gym every day and, you want to take things off. But the moment you fall off and they start texting you being like, oh, you haven't hit your streak, or, oh, you haven't been here for a week and it's really annoying, and then you delete the app. And that's the experience with most health apps. So the way Hoku is different is the idea that it's not just for people when they are being healthy. It's just an app that is there regardless of where you are in your health journey. So for example, what you were saying, like for a lot of people, the block is a bit mental. It is the fact that they think being healthy has to involve a lot of time investment all of a sudden. Like you have to block out an hour in your day where you go to the gym and you have to meal prep. One of the things Hoku does for people with time constraints, for example, is that if your coach knows that that's something you have an issue with, it breaks it down into really manageable chunks. So for example, it says, look, you're busy. We get it. We've seen your calendar. Let's start with 5 minutes. Only recommendations that literally take you 5 minutes in a day that fits into your existing schedule, that fits into your existing lifestyle. So making it super, super manageable takes out a lot of the almost like friction around it. And then make sure you're hitting that consistently. And it's like, okay, now you've got 5 minutes. Let's try 10 minutes instead. So it staggers it for you. And obviously that is, it depends person to person. If you're going to start out already with more motivation and more time, it will tweak that accordingly. So that's one. The other one is, for example, again, like a thing that blocks people from becoming healthy is also the mental image they have of themselves. So it's how like people think they're a morning person or a night person, but really it's just what they have, built into their habits and routines. So for a lot of people, they think, oh, I'm not a healthy person because I don't subscribe to certain ideas of what it means to be healthy that I see on social media or Instagram or TikTok or all those other things. Again, it's getting you to think, look, it's not about that, being healthy isn't really this huge change you have to make. It's just small things you have to do in your life to get there, and you can do it. That's the person you can be. So it's like reframing what that looks like as well. So those are two of some of the examples Hoku can do. As we said, effectively it finds what works for you and then gives that to you.
Cool. Thank you, Kavita. Well done.
I'll stop sharing.
Sachin, you're up next, and I saw your pitch yesterday, so I'm expecting big things.
Okay. Hi, guys. I'm going to share my screen now. Can everybody see my screen?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Hi, guys. I'm Sachin Bagri, and I'm the founder of Leap Room, a remote intern marketplace. And today I'm going to tell you the story of two dreamers. So the first dreamer is Michael Scott, a founder from USA. He has recently quit his job to work on his startup. Michael's dream is to build a 1 million plus ARR business. But there's a problem. Michael has limited financial resources and he has no team to help him out. As a result of this, Michael ends up doing everything all by himself, be it sales, tech, or marketing. And therefore, Michael is frustrated because he cannot focus on the growth of his startup. On the other hand, we have a second dreamer, Rima, a student from Nigeria. Now, Rima is talented and hardworking, and he wants to land a fine job. But there's a problem. Rima is studying at a college which we've never heard of, and therefore he's struggling to find internships. He's frustrated because he ends up applying to 1,000 companies on LinkedIn just to get an internship. Now, let me tell you something. There are thousands of founders like Michael today all over the world who want to build a 1 billion plus ARR startup, but who do not have a team to support them. At the same time, there are millions of students like Rima who are studying at colleges which we've never heard of, who are frustrated because they struggle to get internships. So how can we help these dreamers? Well, we built a platform called Leap Room where we connect these dreamers together. Here, for founders, we build a product which is an intern marketplace where founders will be able to hire vetted interns based on skills. This way, founders will be able to delegate repetitive tasks to interns, and they'll be able to focus on things that really matter, such as growth, sales, networking, and investor relations. At the same time, for students like Rima, we will build a career builder which will help them learn skills by taking part in company projects. In this way, we expect these students to build a strong CV which will help them land multiple internships and hopefully jobs at big tech companies like FANG. In the past few weeks, I have interacted with many people, including founders, experienced CTOs, software consultants, and students, and they have overwhelmingly persuaded me to pursue this idea. I'm happy to share that 60 plus students from across the world in countries like France, Nigeria, and India have signed up for my platform. At the same time, 20 plus founders have signed up as well. These include bootstrap founders as well as founders who have raised millions of dollars from VCs. My biggest win in the past few weeks has been the fact that 3 founders have actually approached me to help them hire interns, and I've already received 400 plus applications from students all over the world. So why me? Like, why am I the right person to build this business? Well, I'm somebody who likes to help underdogs, be it a founder who has limited financial resources or somebody who is studying at a college which we've never heard of. I'm an MBA with 5 years plus of entrepreneurship experience, and I've traveled all over the world and have a global outlook. In the last few months, I've been working as a freelance recruiter to understand the hiring problem, and I'm not afraid to build my startup in public by creating content on Instagram and Twitter every day. So thank you everyone for giving me the opportunity to pitch Leaproom to you. And I like to say that everyone at Parallect and every Nano founder I've interacted with has been really, really awesome. Thank you everyone.
I love it, Sachin. I'm going to do you the favor and add, because I think you forgot it, the 3 founders that have come to you, they all came to you pre-product, didn't they?
Yes, they have come to me pre-product, and I'm already working on them.
Fantastic. I think Landon's got a question for you.
Yes.
Yeah, awesome stuff. And great to see the metrics already on both sides of the market, which I know is super tough. Can you just tell me a bit more about, you mentioned it's vetted. Is this, it seems like it's focused, I guess, on the demand side of the market for startups. Is there like a specific role, or is it a couple roles to begin with? And then on like the vetted side of things, is it any specific type of student or a specific process that you'll go through?
So the way I have thought about this is I'll start with 5 roles: AI ML, front end, back end, UI UX, and data science. And as far as vetting is concerned, the second product that I'm building is a career builder. Over there, you will have a control over the supply of talent that you have, because over there, we'll have data on which student is taking part in which project. We'll have data on their skills. And this way, we'll be able to rank these students and present it to the founder whenever he is out there to hire an intern. And currently, there is no solution for this. Like, if you want to hire an intern, you will probably post it on LinkedIn. 1,000 people will apply. You have no idea or no time to actually go through each CV and figure out who is actually good, who is not. So to solve this problem, we are coming up with this career builder as well, to get enough data to figure out who is actually good and who is not, and rank them accordingly.
Awesome. Thank you.
Great job, Sachin. Well done. And kept it within your time limit. Cool. So Zhang, do you want to go next? Zhang is the founder of Femstock.
Yes, of course. My pleasure. So, hi everyone. My name is Zhang. I'm a founder of Femstock. So Femstock is feminine AI stock images. I don't have any slide because I'm afraid that my internet will break down, because this is midnight over here. They like to do maintenance around this time. So it will be just me. Okay. And then, okay, so feminine AI stock images is, as the name, it says that my target customers are actually female entrepreneurs, or maybe bloggers who are active on Pinterest and Instagram and the latest social media platform, Lemonade, which people really like this kind of aesthetic style of images. So I launched this. I actually built in public this FemStock, I built it with no code. So I launched it on a product hunt during February, and I got number 4 AI product of the week in the product hunt. And product hunt featured my product and used my FemStock image in their product hunt newsletter, which they send it to everybody. So I'm super, so happy and so proud of that. And currently I have 2,700 followers on Twitter. So basically people follow me for AI art and no code because I'm in a no code community. So the problem that I'm solving with FemStock is actually is something that because like people who are active on Instagram and Pinterest, we like our social media posts to be unique. So basically those days we all find the images from Unsplash, which is very boring because like we want something like really like maybe pink, maybe pastel blue, or maybe pastel purple. And we want it to be like really feminine, you know, like to showcase, you know. So there are people that actually build it already because this is not like something new that I created. So they actually created this kind of a membership for the feminine style photos. So I got this opportunity last year when I started to play with AI art. So I found out that I can make them with the special prompt, and I also train my own model. So to make these kind of images, that because AI images is something so unique that you can't find it elsewhere. So I made a page, Pinterest, and also a Pinterest account, and I have an interactive page like a gallery to showcase my images. And I'm having right now for FemStock, I have 41 followers on the Twitter account. So actually for this, sorry, that's my baby. She just want me, so it's okay. Wait, mommy is busy. Okay, so right now I have one paid user. So my target is actually B2C, but my paid user is a company. It's a no code. Okay, wait up. So it's a company that they actually made like a no code interactive page. So they need a lot of images. So that's why I became their supplier. They even featured me in their newsletter and also featured my product. So right now I have like today I just have another 3 free user signed up. So the reason why I created this free user is as a lead gen. So the reason why is because I actually committed my target to have 100 in this Nano.
At least we know she wasn't lying about the internet.
Okay, yes, I'm so sorry about that. Okay, I'm back. So I created like, like to keep them in my email list. So that I can sell my paid product to them. So in order to keep them in my email list, I'll send them like a tips and also monthly free 5 images per month from the FemStock. So right now, I don't have much paid user, but I'm continuing this journey because I'm writing to like few famous bloggers and also some of the influencers on Instagram and Pinterest so that they will use my images and feature my images. So that's all from me. Thank you so much.
Hey Zeng, thank you for that. Really great. Love the launch. The traction you've got on Product Hunt is incredible. And I can totally see the need for the product. My question is, given the ease of producing sort of AI image content, how defensible is this going to be in 6 or 12 months' time?
Sorry, come again. Sorry, I didn't hear you. Sorry.
So given the ease of producing AI-driven content, and that's likely to get significantly easier over time, how defensible do you think this will be in 6 or 12 months' time?
Okay, yeah. So for yes, it is easy to create AI images right now. But nowadays, especially there's more models and everything. So my target users are still people who are very busy that they don't have time to really write prompts to do. And then because when you do, we need to test on the different platform or maybe different kind of prompt, you need to tweak it. So I'm good in this. And then so what I offer is I send you a list of images in an Airtable on a monthly basis. So what you do is you just go in and you can get all the images you want. And I also offer like different kinds of like during holidays or maybe different kind of colors or maybe theme based on the latest trend. Yeah, so this is what I'm solving is for people who don't have time to make the images, even though right now, like everyone is coming with the AI image generator, like Freepik, Adobe, everybody is doing that. But if you really sit down and do like maybe, okay, I want to like 50 images per month, you're gonna spend a lot of time and you'll be thinking it's better to pay Zhang $29 to get 50 images than I'm sitting here doing it. So thank you so much.
Great, thank you, Zhang.
Thanks very much, Zhang, and well done on pitching without the slides as well. It can be quite difficult to stay on track. Cool.
Thank
Zane,
you.
no worries. Zane, do you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. I'm also no slides, so this is going to be interesting. But yeah, I'll go ahead. I start?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, first of all, thanks for everyone showing up. Like the people at Nano, like you guys are amazing. The other founders, the investors here, like I appreciate everyone here. Like we're working hard and we're trying to do something that helps people. So first of all, that's amazing. And just to talk about the problem in the beginning, everyone here is posting content and we all want to share something that's going to help someone else. So if you open your phone right now, you're going to see tons of tips on how to improve things in your life, whether it's your startup, whether it's your life, whether it's your health, also because of Heroku. If you have anything, you're always seeing this information online. But how many of that are we actually using? If you look back on the posts and the things you've read, and you realize none of it is integrated. And I relate to that a lot because for the past few years, all my knowledge has been coming from YouTube videos, from podcasts, from books that I do on my own. But I'm just so furious because I look back and it's like all of this info and I'm still not integrating it. And I'm sure a lot of you went through this same experience. So for the past few months, I've been working on creating a solution for this. So I've interviewed over 100 people. I've done a bunch of different prototypes, a lot of which have failed and some of which are doing well. But a lot of these are trying to replace what people are already doing, which is what you probably do is you try a habit tracker maybe that could be for something about health, or it could be something about improving your business, any type of education. You could get a coach, you could write notes about it, but then never see it again. So the entire thing is based around that. Now, I could tell you about like the exact psychological cues about how the app works, but just to keep it super simple, to avoid this info overwhelm and getting out of this consumption mode and getting into the action mode, you're going to open the app, you see synthesized content from the people you follow, you choose the thing that you want to work on, and then very simple, you're going to get progressively easy action steps so you can reach your desired outcome. Now, there's a bunch of psychological stuff and like nudges, like also similar to what Kavita mentioned before about how this can be done, but I won't go through all of those. But basically, the biggest problem people have, like you, is like, I don't have time to work on myself or improve this thing. I think it's too much effort. And that's why I'm really focused on this simplicity. And right now, I'm focused on the self-improvement niche. So combining the self-improvement niche and this simple solution, I've been sending out a daily email with this action item for the past month. And this has been getting 550 opens every single day. So there's 1,000 subscribers, and then there's an average 60% open rate. And then every day there's at least 550 people opening the email. And they're seeing it and they're taking action on that step. And it's only based to just solidify that part, it can then be expanded to other places. But now this has been working. And so just think about this. If one content creator, someone who's making the content, who's solving the pain point for the person, is telling them, hey, it's telling you, hey, this is how you solve your problem. You've been stuck and this is how you do it. And you're still stuck. But then they tell you, you forgot how, like, you're going to forget how to solve this. You're going to forget what I'm telling you. You're not actually going to take action on it. And so that's why you're going to stay stuck. So this is how the growth would work. When a creator shares and tells the person by serving them that they can have this product, that will help them. So any one of us next time we want to do something, we want to learn something, we want to see, we're going to think about how we can use the information so we can improve something that we're working on. So by this method, we're not going to get overwhelmed by the info. We're not going to stay in the same loop. And we're actually going to learn the right skills to advance in any field that we're trying to learn and improve on. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Zain. I'll pass it over for a question.
I think it's me for the questions, right? Okay. Zain, great story. Seems like you love to encourage like learning by doing and applying, things less of a just consuming endlessly, which is great. So you talked about the newsletter that seemingly has, you said what, about 50% open rate, about 500 plus people opening every day. What is your next 3 to 6 month plan with the newsletter and how it ties to the core product?
Yeah, so the newsletter is basically the main way that I'm getting to talk to users right now. And it's already expanding organically. So every week there's about 50 people who sign up. And I'm not even like actively working on it. So I do want to grow that newsletter to around 5,000 subscribers. And just to make sure, I don't remember if I said this, I'm sending the email every single day. And so I'm having this interaction. I'm getting to like battle with the problem immediately. And so that's the strategy with the newsletter. But then how it ties to the product is just taking it, like being able to synthesize all of it in there and having that connection with the person to then let them know like, hey, you have all this information that you got from the newsletter and you want to make sure you're integrating everything. And if you want to get something new, you can go to the platform. You can work on different skills, and what I'm working on right now, which is very directed towards self-improvement, motivation, productivity. So if you have a specific skill that you're working on, you can find it inside the app and then progressively work on there.
Well done, Zain. Thank you very much. Eden and Callie, would you guys like to go next?
Yes. Very bright. Where's Eden? Eden?
Hey, Callie.
Oh, hi. I had to scroll through to find you. Okay. I will share my screen then. Okay. We all good? Everyone can see? Okay, always have to ask that. Okay, so this is Thinksy, an app that automatically saves and organizes your ideas directly in Slack so you don't have to. Let's start off with the team. So Eden and I are the co-founders. My name is Callie, and I'm an MBA, and for the past 8 years, I've been working in finance for startups and fast-growing companies. I've been involved in closing multiple rounds up to 2.5 million and managing cap tables over 12 million. And now I'm ready to do this for myself. So even though I'm still working full time, I'm ready to give it all to Thinksy and ready to work full time with Eden.
And yeah, that's me, Eden. I'm the CTO of Thinksy, and by day, I'm a staff engineer at Slack, where I lead a team of over 13 engineers, and before that, I was at Google. All right, so where did this idea come from? So working at Slack, I noticed this huge issue that there was a lot of great engineers and a lot of great ideas, and they were all being lost. They either went in the Jira backlog, where we all know where things die, or they went into different Apple Notes pages where they have like 1,000 tabs. And I was just like, why are all these secret great nuggets being hidden so far away from the team? So I came up with this kind of hacky idea to get everyone to push their ideas into a Slack channel. And kind of manually, I would get all the ideas together and turn them into tasks to work on every quarter, usually focused on tech debt. And even talking to an ex-coworker recently, he told me he took that idea and hacky solution to his new company at Common Room. And that kind of got me thinking, like, maybe this isn't just a Slack problem. Is this actually an industry-wide problem that people can't organize their team ideas well?
Yeah, so that's the problem that we attacked here. And we found that, in fact, yes, it's a problem. And yes, people are looking for a solution. So our conversion rate for people who visited our Thinksy website and then signed up
is 13%, which is almost double the industry standard of just 7%. So while we didn't reach our initial goal of 100 signups, week after week, we did see accelerated growth in both the number of signups and the number of followers. The biggest thing that I've learned is to move fast, because I had interviewed 2 people who were ready to use Thinksy who wanted it. And then less than a week later, they said that their team moved off of Slack and onto Microsoft Teams, which was just heartbreaking, because a couple days after, we
had our MVP ready. So like Callie said, we move fast. And even in less than a month, where we're also working full time, I did some grinding at night, even with some 12-hour days at Slack. I was like, you know what, we're going to get Thinksy moving. So we got an MVP working. This is a real picture of me working at night on Thinksy. So yeah, again, before Thinksy, this is where ideas go to die, either in massive threads in your dozens of channels, if not hundreds of Slack channels that are not very organized, maybe in your notes app where you never look at it again, or God forbid, a massive brainstorming doc that no one will ever read again.
So luckily, if Thinksy, this is actually real footage from our MVP that we use. You can add your ideas, create custom tags, and then eventually using AI to summarize those ideas and get more details. You can even add your ideas to a calendar if it detects a date, or you can send those ideas to your project management apps for implementation and action. So our next steps, now that we have the MVP, is to release it to the public at a discount, because we still want to be paid and we're excited to have our first paid user, and then continue driving traffic to our website and maintaining that conversion rate. And of course, keeping up the traction, building excitement, and building our Thinksy community. So Thinksy, don't lose another good idea.
Fantastic. Well done, guys. Really cool pitch. And Eden, I will never forget that picture ever.
Shall we go back to it? So it
Yes,
can be
we should.
burned
We should
in
just keep that up while we go through the question.
the real MVP.
All right. Okay, I'll go ask the question. So amazing stuff, great presentation. So my question is a little bit about the product, but before we go there, right? So to set the context, one kind of tools we can use is Google Doc, or we can put down a handwritten note, but that does not work. Another set of tools is ClickUp or Notion, which kind of works, right? So we can put up a timeline, we can create backlogs, we can create, let's say, hey, what are we doing right now? Can you send me a reminder? Can you send me an email through Zapier? All that stuff, right? The third part is using a Slack bot, which is also a great idea, because there used to be a time when I used to use Slack. I created a Slack channel and I used to message myself to keep a to-do list, right? We do that. Now, the actual question is, if I had to create a to-do or use the application, I would have to have a Slack channel. Now, we do have Slack channels, all of us, but these are either our work channels, or let's say a channel that I've joined for this group. But I would not like for my private to-do be on someone else's channel, which means I'll have to create my own Slack channel to use this app. Is that correct? And if that's correct, isn't that a lot of friction or a lot of steps that I need to take before I can use the product?
Yeah, it's a great question. So the app is not tied to a channel. It's just tied to a Slack workspace. So any message that anyone sends in any thread or anything like that, from there, you can take that message and turn it into an idea. And it's not necessarily focused on like personal notes. It's really for teams to share ideas. So my example of when I at Slack, what I implemented, it's very focused on like tech debt and issues that you see come up, like, hey, we should probably update this function, or hey, maybe one day it would be nice if we had a graph that showed us this. And it's kind of these ideas that float by in conversation at work via Slack, especially now things are so async and remote. So it's very team focused and okay, that's a great idea. I don't know where to put it right now because it's super raw and early. Just dump it in Thinksy, and then eventually we can get summaries or kind of figure out what to do with that.
Okay, makes sense. All right.
Yeah, thanks for the question.
Well done, guys. Brilliant stuff. Just a reminder to the judges, please keep the questions as short as possible for future questions. Cool. Alexei, would you like to go next? And before you do, we'll have Alexei's pitch. We'll show you another pitch that was pre-recorded, and then we'll take a few minutes break because I'm sure it's quite difficult to sit and watch pitches for 2 hours. So, Alexei, would you like to go next?
Yeah, of course. I'm here. I'm ready. Let me share my screen. So, hi everyone. My name is Alexei, and I'm a product manager and founder of Product Board. I always wanted to create products and change the world. I started my way in product building 8 years ago, and at that time, I had an opportunity to build for a long time, reliable, and with full-fledged documentation. But nowadays, the modern world will shame you for long thinking and infinite product development. You need to plan fast, be effective, check carefully, and act strongly. And 2 years ago, I was involved in building another product where I was faced with extreme environment of development, 4 product owners with personal vision, marketing department with urgent tasks, government customer, 4 uncontrolled development teams, and 1 holistic product. Mass disputes and misunderstanding of how to manage those ideas, how to understand the key value, how not to play game with product owner, personal ambitions. And at that moment, I learned processes don't create the best products. That is exactly what should happen between founders is inspiration and their teams. Thinking about it a lot of times and analyzing the problem of product as a product manager from the inside, I eventually came up with the idea of product board. Now I'm building product board with the focus to get routine done with AI that I previously did manually. The approach of product board is very simple on the surface, but tricky inside. At the input, the initial product idea, but you're not just unless software and at the output. Whoever you are, founder, PDM, business analyst, just hire AI to get routine done and clarify the idea. First of all, the product board provides an engine that can exchange your idea for value. Tell the product board what business you work in, determine your target audience and what you want to offer to users. And you get a full-fledged map of potential values to solve customer problems. Then, to validate the idea, in common life, you face with 5, 10 users at the interview, but usually they are not motivated and agree with any features, but because they don't pay. So instead of user interview, use the idea validation mechanism to get online feedback from thousands of targeted users from social and media networks. Once you are ready to start development, just unpack one-page roadmap automatically. Using this board, you align with the development team without time trackers and ton of messages in team chats. Development process, health, issues, tasks on the founder's side, everything is here. I promotion the idea concept of the product board for 30 days from the scratch, and I have 26 users in the waitlist, 70 upvotes on Nano SQ. It is the second place among Nano Challenges startup and 245 unique users on the product page. And of course, what is important, 0 cost of promotion and building in public. Next, I have a journey to build a prototype and grow a community so that I will be ready for next challenges. Thank you.
Great job, Alexei. Well done. Really clear pitch.
Hey, Alexei, love the thoughts. I resonate a ton with a lot of the pain points and problems. Could you, I guess, kind of distill it down? Is the pain point or the core kind of solution more on the organization of information or like the synthesis of information? Is it more based on one of those two, either from like a core pain point or core solution that it's providing?
So the key pain point is that founders really don't know how to transform the idea into the value for users. But I'm confident that founders can feel something and provide their experience. And this is the core feature of the product board. This is like an engine. And this is like a bridge between initial idea, product value map, and eventually it can transform into the product roadmap. Only like you can see everything only on one page, and you can align with your team. You can see the product health as well. You can see your own task, because it's also a problem when founder doesn't provide enough information from his side as well.
Well done, Alexei. Thank you for that.
Thank you so much.
Cool. We will shortly be taking a break, but before that, one of the founders was unable to make it, so he recorded a pitch, which I will share for you guys. Obviously, there'll be no killer question because he's not here to answer it, and I don't know enough about his business. But we thought we'd give him the chance because Igor and I actually found his video pretty funny. So give me a second. There we go. I think you should be able to see that.
This is Hai, and it's his 7th meeting of the day.
All right, follow-up client call. What was discussed last time? Oh no, the note looks so bad. I can't even remember what happened anymore.
Not cool, Hai. Insights are lost. Clients are unhappy. Communication is bad.
If only there's someone who can take nice notes and do follow-up without costing a kidney.
Woodpecker joins your meetings, records, transcribes, and produces the best summary you've ever seen. Don't remember the next steps? Customer's biggest concern? Just ask Woodpecker. Now Hai's team likes him because he has answers. He's telling everyone else to use Woodpecker too. Be like Hai.
This was the promo video for our product hunt launch, which seems to resonate a lot, as over 600 users signed up within just 3 days of the launch, and 60% of which are high-quality leads from established orgs. Now, why is that important? Because this will be our pathway to commercialization. With over 1,500 users, averaging 200 to 300 conversations recorded every day, we have now established and validated our go-to-market strategy via the product-led sales path. So we start with the individual's pain point, and then we make them happy, thereby spreading Woodpecker further into the organization. And then we capture the value. But why should enterprise care if they can ask questions across multiple meetings? Well, because the things that you say during meetings are almost impossible to find. With Woodpecker, these tacit knowledge can be resurfaced a lot easier. So, with a well-rounded team, we know we will be able to pull this off. So, contact me if you want to be part of this super exciting journey. Thanks everyone, and have a great demo day.
I was going to say something nice to him, but he's not here. But yeah, judges, if you could please rate that like you have been, that'd be great. But we'll go in for a quick break. We'll try to get back in the next 4 minutes at 20 past. So you can turn your cameras off, grab a drink, be back here in about 4 to 5 minutes. hopefully you guys are back and all ready to keep going. Part 2 of today's demo day. I'll know you're all here when you either give me a thumbs up or put your camera on.
I'm back.
Peace. Landon's here, Mark's here, KP, you here? I see Deep.
Yep. Hello.
Andy, you're going next, so do you want to get ready? And as soon as we see KP, you can get going.
Great.
KP, you here? Yeah, there he is.
Okay, great. Perfect.
Wait, Andy, do you want to get going?
Hi, I'm Andy. For a long time, I've been passionate about designing and creating apps to solve problems. I love keeping up with the latest innovations in tech, and this is what led me to Fudgify. Let me jump straight into what I've been building. We all love threads like these on Twitter. They're engaging, informative, easy to read. Threads are written in a way that hooks a reader and keeps them invested throughout with good visuals, stats, and call to actions. But the same content creators that write these high-performing threads are nowhere to be seen on TikTok, Reels, and YouTube. And if they are, most of them only have a few videos testing the water. And herein lies a problem. It's difficult and cumbersome creating video content for other platforms. This is not because the current content won't work with other audiences, but it's because there are hurdles when creating an entirely new form of content that is foreign to people. If you think about it, a thread is a perfect script for a video. But even with half of the work already done, there are still challenges creating one. I conducted many problem interviews, and my ideal user faces the following pain points when creating video. First of all, time. It takes a lot of time to brainstorm video ideas, find footage, film, edit, and then post. Second is management. There's a risk of having a backlog of tweets, and you have to constantly refine your video edits based on the engagement it receives. Thirdly, it's a lack of skill and know-how, as most of the time users are new to these platforms and they can find it daunting and intimidating. Finally, it can be expensive if the user goes a freelancer route, and if they hire a virtual assistant or editor, they charge per video. The solution to all of this is Fudgify. Fudgify is an app that takes tweets and threads and creates portrait video out of them automatically for platforms like TikTok. It completely eliminates the barriers to creating a video from scratch. How does it work? You enter the link of your thread and that's it. Fudgify gets to work. Take this thread about Bezos's yacht, for example. Fudgify sources the tweet, finds background stock video, creates a voiceover narrating the contents, adds captions and transitions, and the final product is a stunning video that is familiar to users on TikTok, all made from the thread you just wrote and in one click. And the value is very clear to the user. It saves them time, money, and effort, and brings their message and brand across to more people, resulting in more views, more leads, and faster growth. But Fudgify is not just another text-to-video platform. We want to become the experts on short-form video by focusing our attention on what makes videos go viral. We've grown our value proposition throughout NanoGrid, and we've realized we're building an engine that allows for other use cases to plug in. Not only can it help Twitter users reach new audiences, but it could help e-commerce brands as they could create product videos using Fudgify by leveraging high-performing video formats that convert viewers into customers. I came to the Nano Grid Challenge without a live landing page and 0 signups, only an idea. And I fulfilled my goal today of achieving 150 people on the waitlist. I did this by directly engaging with my ideal audience on Twitter DMs, some of them being high 6-figure followings. I delivered a prototype, got 15 beta users on board with their feedback, and I was successful in networking with a TikTok growth expert who runs a 7-figure turnover content creation agency. With the big boom in user-generated content and the ongoing innovations in AI, I believe that now is the right time to be building Fudgify. Fudgify will be the tool that delivers high-performing winning video every time. Thank you for listening.
Well done, Andy. Good job.
Hey there. Yeah, like I'm basically your customer. So I post twice a day on LinkedIn and Twitter and on my blog, and it's easy. I write it once. It's all written content, so I can just literally copy across. I have to find the handles. That's basically it. I'd love to be able to produce video content. The question is, when I'm writing my content, like the most important thing when I write my content, apart from the actual thing, is that it's authentic and it's me, and people can tell that it's written by me. When you're doing the kind of auto conversion with a voiceover, putting a video on it, how do you maintain that authenticity when it becomes video?
That's a great question. So this is still early stages. We had many ideas, for example, letting people make their own voiceovers, put in their own footage, and still have some form of automation in editing the video and adding captions and making it in a way that is a really popular format. So we can either go fully automated or have the person have their personality come across. So there'll be a range of ways to do it, not just one way.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Andy. Well done. Sarah, do you want to go next?
Of course. Hi, everyone. I want to start by thanking you for your time and for being here and for your interest in knowing more about what we're working on and our passion. So my name is Sarah, and I'm so much in love with guiding fashion consumers to contributing to sustainability on a daily basis without them even knowing. I have a background in business with an MBA and work experience in entrepreneurship and consulting. During the past couple of years, I have built an interesting community on Instagram under the umbrella of fashion, and Muda Hub is my passion and what wakes me up at night. So to tell you a bit more about Muda Hub is the first social fashion hub that allows users to make the most out of their closets by providing a platform where people can upload their wardrobes, organize their closets, style their outfits, and request styling help when needed. They can also sell what they don't need anymore, all while being social and fun. So basically, Muda Hub helps fashion consumers make efficient use out of what they own before resorting to unconscious shopping decisions. So the idea of Muda Hub came during my last job as a consultant, where I came across the fact that the fashion industry is one of the largest polluters in the world, ranking second after the oil and gas industry and producing up to 10% of humanity's carbon emissions. There are two main reasons behind this shocking impact, which are the actions of fashion brands and fashion consumers. During my research, I also came across the fact that $500 billion in value are lost every year because of underutilized clothes and a lack of recycling. And I also came across the fact that I resonated to, which is that 65% of individuals have garments that they haven't worn with the tag even still on them. And let me know if you're not one of these people. So the idea of Muda Hub is to approach this problem with a bottom-up approach by starting by solving consumers' problem, escalating the impact to solving brands' problems until having the positive environmental contribution. It's very interesting to be working on Muda Hub right now because For example, the secondhand market is booming a lot and is expected to double in value by 2029. And the sustainable fashion industry is growing as well with a 10% growth rate. The past month has been super interesting for me. I have done amazing things. I have been able to achieve 310 sign-ups for Muda Hub. I have met 20 amazing founders from whom I have learned a lot. I have spoken as well to 20 potential users that have helped me set Muda Hub's vision in the right direction. I've also started Muda Hub's presence on social media and have gained 300 Instagram followers and 161 LinkedIn followers. On a more professional level, I have been able to onboard 3 advisors with experience and good names under the sustainable fashion expertise, digital transformation, and AI. I'm gonna be featured with Muda Hub in Haya magazine in their next issue, and I have been featured in Female Founders Global. I'm also speaking to 2 top fashion magazines, which are Marie Claire and Bureau, who have shown interest in spreading the word about Muda Hub. And I'm super proud to have such loud voices in the tech and the fashion industries wanting to spread the knowledge about Muda Hub. Something very interesting has happened is that Muda Hub has received the attention of very well-known VCs such as Plug and Play, 500, and WAMDA. And today is my lucky day. I have received an intro request from an investor who wants to put in a $500K check into Muda Hub. So I feel lucky. If you're interested in knowing more about Muda Hub, please take a picture of this slide. And I'm excited to meeting you as well. Thank you.
All right. So, Sarah, did you have slides?
Oh my God, I haven't.
I feel like you still managed to crush it though.
Exactly. Yeah. I thought that was practiced really well.
So congrats. I mean,
everyone.
I think it's okay. Congrats, great pitch, great energy, and like I said, today's a lucky day. Seems like things moving really well. In terms of the product roadmap, what are the next 3 to 6 months looking like? You want to expand to what other categories you want to add, or anything that you want to share about the product?
Yes, so the roadmap of Muda Hub has infinite possibilities, and there are many things to be added. The next couple of months, I'll be working on the MVP in terms of building the basic features of the app, and we'll start by introducing features one by one until having the full vision implemented in place.
That's good.
Sweet. Thank you, Sarah. If I remember, you've also had like a huge shift in mindset in product development. I remember the first call we had, you wanted to build like 5 different mini products into your one product, and now it's like thinking about things a bit more leanly. So well done. Jason, do you want to go next?
Yes. Share screen. Yeah. Here we are.
Jason, we can see your speaker notes. Is that okay?
Is it still there? Let's see. Move that.
That's what building in public is.
Full screen. There we go. Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Compass, the future of career readiness. I want to start with this equation. So I'm Jason. I'm your resident HR professional and problem solver. I'll give you a few seconds. I don't know how many of you will be able to solve this equation, but I'll solve it for you. Let's go there. The answer is 30. And 30 is a very important number for me because I spent, 30 years before I finally found, HR, my career path, and I was able to really, excel and succeed in a domain in an area that I was truly passionate about. But also, we've been all on this journey together over the past, 30 or so days, trying to gain traction and working on, our product. And 30 is also very symbolic because, 30 is the amount of days that, Compass will, help our users to become career ready and to acquire at least, the minimum amount of skills that they will require to succeed. So today, what is the problem? Many problems. So 6 in 10 workers will require training before 2027, as well as finding new ways to upskill and reskill workers, to fill job gaps and keep up with the pace of new emerging technologies, is going to be a problem for, still a problem today in the future. And as we know, with the advent of AI and ChatGPT, technology-related roles are, really dominating the market sphere. However, I feel like today, especially students and new grads, they're at a disadvantage. Today, if somebody wants to develop or identify their top skills or identify their skills, they, either go through formal education or training. But what if someone is unsure about what their skills are or about what their path is? How do they confirm these skills? How do they find their path? Today you have online courses, which can be quite lengthy. You have internships, and sometimes internships are not outcome based. You end up fetching water or, filing papers instead of working on things that really matter. And this is what we want to, really help with Compass, to really help, provide a solution where we focus on what matters, the specific skills that matters. And my question is, what if you, have, skills in more than one, field as well of work? Say for example, you're good at content writing and graphic design. How do you decide, what career you can apply to these skills to? How do you develop a career path? So with Compass, the solution is, really a project-based learning platform that helps professionals and college students to confirm the top skills in their industry by completing projects to acquire these skills. Today, more and more, recruiters are looking at non-traditional micro-credentials as currency, and also, as ways of confirming, as ways of validating or recognizing the skills and the competencies that, candidates have. So with Compass, what we provide is the possibility for our users to acquire, the top 10 skills in their career path and gain micro-credentials by completing real-life projects, all with the help of a dedicated mentor. And I think it's important to mention, Compass, it's really an acronym for competency paths, really providing, young professionals and, college students with a CV, which is, really the primary currency for the job market. Anybody who's looking for a job has to have a CV. A lot of us have spent hours, and days, and we have many versions of different CVs. But what if you could have a verified CV that is really catered and tailored towards your experiences, that you could use to apply for any job, because it would be so specific that it would be applicable to all the roles that you'd be interested in. So learn the skills that you need, become career ready. And if you want to, get your dream job, the only thing that matters is just really having, a really great CV. In terms of traction, over the past month, I think, it's been an amazing experience. I've met and spoken to a lot of amazing founders who have really inspired me and given me a lot of, encouragement. Today, we're working basically on building up an MVP, a product that, we can, really start to give our users something to use in order to really get feedback. And thank you. one moment, somebody at the door.
All right. Okay, I'll go ask the question. Great stuff. Good problem to solve. I always say you do not learn by learning, you learn by... Sorry, should I go?
Yes, so sorry.
All right, okay. Okay, so I was just saying, you know, you do not learn by learning, you learn by doing. So I appreciate what you're doing here. Two questions or two-parted question. One is, what's the core product? Do you want to replace CVs? Do you want to make a product where you can connect people to get jobs? Or do you want to educate people, right? So what's the core product? What's the actual product? The second question is, there's skills that they start with. Once they have acquired the skills, you have them make or work on projects. So do you have example skills that you would want to start with, and what kind of a project would it translate into as an output?
Yes, so the core product is really a platform where it, you know, for example, the user journey would start where if you're studying marketing or business, you in the onboarding journey, you put in that I'm studying marketing, I'm interested in the career within the marketing field. These are the courses that I've studied, you know, in college. And then what the Compass platform would do based on the input of the users, we'd be able to suggest different paths. So for example, here you see data science, mobile development design, and suggest the top 10 skills within each path. And then the next journey would be to confirm all of these skills that are within these paths through micro gigs or through completing real life projects.
Success.
Thank you, Jason. Well done.
Thank you.
Sweet. Toby, do you want to go next?
Sure. Can you guys hear me? All
Yep.
good?
Okay.
One sec. Let me move this. Cool. Hi, I'm Toby. I'm the founder of Peace, a platform making home ownership more accessible and flexible, one piece at a time. So as you may be familiar, house prices have been soaring. They're rising at a rate that's actually disproportionate to the rate of increase in salaries. So, I mean, if you look at this diagram, the line for salaries basically looks like a flat line in comparison. So this has made it harder and harder for first-time buyers like myself to enter the property market. There have been recent government schemes in the UK aimed at helping first-time buyers. However, they often lack flexibility, restriction who can apply, the types of properties you can purchase, and even who you can subsequently sell your property to. So there still exist many challenges for first-time buyers and renters to get on the ladder. That's where Peace comes in. So Peace is a platform for buying, selling, and trading shares in residential properties. This reduces the cost of entering the market by spreading the cost across multiple buyers, making it more accessible. And on top of that, we also facilitate the sale of shares, giving buyers the flexibility to exit their group when the time is right. So I actually came up with this idea when some friends and I were looking to move in together, and we realized that we could save a lot of money compared to renting by pooling our resources together and getting a place together and actually acquiring equity in the property market. However, we realized that this process isn't very straightforward. So for example, the mortgage and litigation processes are a lot more complicated because they involve multiple buyers. And on top of that, what happens if someone wants to, you know, move out and live with their girlfriend? So these are the types of problems we're solving at Peace. So here's how it works. Peace simplifies the process of shared home ownership by helping users find the property they're looking for and also form the group. So we also provide a nice intuitive user interface for breaking down the payments for each member of the group. We handle the background checks, legal work, as well as shared mortgage applications if necessary. And then from there, we also enable them, as I mentioned earlier, to sell or trade their shares at any time within our marketplace. So that's one of our primary USPs. So Peace offers unique advantages over traditional renting and other platforms, such as a focus on home ownership, our automatic application processes, which are leveraging artificial intelligence, as well as open banking to streamline these processes, and the easy sale or transfer of shares. So there doesn't really exist a product like ours out there on the market. The UK market presents some significant opportunities, but I won't bore you with those details right now. Feel free to reach out for more info, but just know there's a large market. The team is led by myself. So I was one of the early engineers at Yapily, which is one of Europe's largest open banking providers. So I have a strong background in that space. We also have an advisor, Ty Tucker, who has extensive experience in the real estate / prop tech industry. And we have some engineers as well who have been helping to build out our initial MVP. So before I let you go, you might be wondering why now? The first reason is the tech. So as I mentioned, we're leveraging open banking, which is quite a new tech that has been proliferating within the UK within the last couple of years, as well as advancements in machine learning to scale down complex underwriting processes required for group mortgages that would usually take weeks, scaling that down to hours. The second reason is, again, the rise in house prices. So it's becoming harder and harder for people to individually enter the housing market. So we aim to be a stepping stone for such buyers to get equity in the places that they're living in. In terms of our traction, this month we've experimented with a variety of media, Pinterest, Reddit, Gumtree, Facebook, to generate inbound property inquiries totaling over £30 million, which is actually lower than my initial target of 45 million. But one of the things I learned while on this program is that, I got warned about this, is that the customer acquisition in this field is quite a bit harder than a typical SaaS application, just due to the nature of the business. People are investing large amounts of money in an emotional asset. So, that's it for now. We believe our platform has the potential to transform the property market quite a bit, making home ownership more accessible and flexible for everyone. So feel free to browse our MVP at peace.estate to learn more.
Thanks very much, Toby.
Was that over? Was that under? I wasn't timing.
4 minutes 08.
Oof, could do better.
Could be.
Toby, I love the concept. I actually tried to buy a house with 3 of my brothers, so I very much resonate with the pain point problem, because it was this impossible to deal with. Can you kind of give an example? I guess in the case of me and my brothers, we all had different credit scores, different potential mortgages. Now my brother who owns the house, he's married, so if someone exits out or if no one sells it, how does it actually work in terms of either people, I guess in y'all's case, sharing it equally if someone leaves or transfers, and then if y'all have different mortgage rates and things like that, what does that kind of look like?
So when the group first sort of applies, we obviously go through the affordability assessments for all of the members. We establish, whether you guys can actually purchase the property, and then as well at the transfer of equity, we do a reassessment of the group's affordability metrics. So this is both assessing the current buyers that are remaining within the group, and then the new buyer that is taking on the equity. So if you're trying to sell your share to someone who can't afford it, we're not going to be able to facilitate that. But one of the things you can actually do as well is distribute your share amongst the existing buyers. So let's say there's 3 of you purchasing a property together, and then 5 years down the line you want to exit, you can sell your share to the other members of your group, who are probably going to be in a better situation than they were when they first started the mortgage, so that they are likely to be able to take on that additional equity. Does that answer your question?
That does. Thank you.
Great. Thanks for listening. Any
Great
other
job,
questions?
Toby. That's great. Thank you very much. So we have Shashank next, please.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Let me share my screen.
We're almost there, guys. There's 4 more pitches. It's going really well.
Apologies, guys. I just had to rejoin to share my screen. Let me share it now. Okay, so hey everyone, my name is Shashank. I'm a full-time engineer at UBS, the financial firm, as my 9 to 5. But on the side, I've been building an AI-first document editor that can generate text and images in the same document. Now, document editors today, they aren't reaching their full potential. And people know this. With the rise of LLMs, note-taking apps and document editors were one of the first places AI was introduced. Office 365, Google Docs, Notion, they all have AI features. But the ones that do use AI, when they implement it in a rigid way. You're often constrained to templates such as create a blog post, create an email template, brainstorm ideas, summarize this. Now, don't get me wrong, these are very useful for many of us, but if you ever want to do something that lies outside these templates, it becomes an issue. And secondly, a document is a blank space and should be used as a canvas. Most document editors are very text focused. None of them have integrated AI image models that exist out there today. So the solution is an AI first document editor, not AI as an afterthought, but AI first. And what does this actually mean is, so the features here are, you can actually prompt AI in your documents seamlessly using autocomplete. So turning raw text into action items, changing the tone of something, summarizing, creating draft blog posts, all which you can do in other AI writing apps, you can do here, but without the use of templates. The ability to generate images, you can prompt Stable Diffusion right there in the document. Maybe you're writing a blog post or just want a funny image, you can do that here. And then lastly, upload PDFs, summarize and ask questions via chat. Now, tools like this already exist outside, especially PDF.ai is a famous one. But to truly be productive, you need to have the least amount of context switching as possible. So the more tools you actually have in your document, the more productive you can be. Now, all this is wrapped in a UI that aims to be fun to use. It offers different background colors you can choose. You can also have a shareable link that you can share it to everyone. You can have a custom background image behind it. Now, over the past few months, there's literally been hundreds of AI writing apps shipped. It seems like every crypto influencer, AI guru, and newsletter are either advertising their own writing tool or they're releasing their own. So how is TypeNotes different, or what does it bring to the table? It's different in these writing tools because it's not really for a specific use case. A document editor is something that's a blank space that anyone can use to get their work done. It's more so like a platform. And it's not only me that's seen this as a problem, it's a competitive problem. Famous companies Type AI, which is backed by Y Combinator, and they're tackling a similar issue of not using templates to prompt AI, but just autocomplete. And there's also others, Google, Notion, Office 365, they're also in the space. So during the Nano Grid Challenge, my main goal is actually to validate my idea before coding too much of it, because I am a dev. And the first idea I had was an AI note-taking app. But what I found was in the first 2 weeks, there's very little traction. And that's because most people that I was talking to, they take notes on their mobile. And prompting AI inside their notes didn't really seem like a must-have need for them. So beginning of week 3, I slightly pivoted and I started marketing TypeNotes as a document editor where you can generate images and text in one place. This worked out a lot better for me. I collected 51 emails on the wait list. 35 of those were just in the last 2 weeks. 2 user interviews conducted so far. I posted a tweet of a video demo and it got me 25 waitlist emails and just showed me the power of building something and validating something in public, which is a skill that I'm not used to, but I'm quickly learning that it's essential. And yeah, thank you. That's it. Make your docs alive. So that's TypeNotes.
Thank you, Shashank. Sorry. Yeah, thank you, Shashank. Looks really interesting. One thing, you said you don't have like a very specific user base. It's quite a broad range of applications. When you have products like that, the challenge is often in how you market them because it's so broad. One common thing that people do is they'll go, well, I'll pick a specific niche or a specific vertical, some area so they can more tightly market the product when they start. So I'm interested to know, actually, how are you going to get past that problem of actually you don't have like a, you know, it's so broad, you don't really have an ideal customer profile to go out and target.
Yeah, that's definitely an issue. So for the waitlist people, what I found is a lot of the AI art community have been signing up. So that's the user interviews I've had with them. And they're interested in having this product because they like to create mood boards. They like to test different image prompts, see how their prompts work out. And if you keep that all in a document, that works out very well. So my plan is, at least for this next month, to really target the art community, the AI art community, and see how they find this.
Got it. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Really concise. Well done, Shashank.
Thanks.
Vanessa, you're up next.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Great. I will share my screen. Okay. Move this out of the way. Give me one sec. Okay, hi everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time and listening to my pitch. My name is Vanessa. I'm the CEO and founder of Privy Reviews. And I'm building the creator economy disruptor. So what is the creator economy? The creator economy is a class of businesses built by over 50 million content creators, curators, including social media influencers, bloggers, videographers, plus the software and finance tools designed to help with growth and monetization. So over the past year, I've had many conversations with creators just to figure out what their pain points are. And this includes my sister, who is a content creator, and the main reason I started this journey. Okay. So here are the top 4 pain points that I've discovered. So number 1, right now, creators have no way of collecting feedback from their audience from all of their social platforms, giving them measurable metrics and data. Creators are needing new ways to build their brand's trust online in order to monetize that content. And creators rely on social media algorithms to show their content to new viewers, but want more control over their visibility online. And lastly, brands and businesses need to protect their reputation and can do this by reading creator reviews before hiring one. So what can I build that is going to remedy the pain points for our content creators? I've built a platform like Trustpilot, but for content creators, called Privy Reviews. So Privy Reviews will let creators collect reviews and build a trustworthy brand online using social proof and a 1 through 5 star rating system. We will be the most trusted source for reviews and provide creators with measurable and identifiable metrics and analytics to help them make better content and win new fans. And lastly, give creators a brand new way to market their content online, also while giving them a new way to engage with their community. So I'm going to give you a little example why a creator would utilize Privy. So for example, we'd have a Twitch streamer who's been having a really hard time getting new subs on their stream. So they're going to ask their already established community to rate and review their content on Privy. That way they can go to their Privy dashboard and read their community's ratings and metrics. For example, they can see which age, gender, and location is rating them with what star, and then use that data to fine-tune their content and get more subscribers. So the creator economy market, it's still very new and considered to be in its infancy, and there's a lot of opportunity to grow. According to a Goldman Sachs recent article, 50 million people consider themselves to be creators, and that's expected to grow anywhere from 10 to 20% every single year. And right now, the creator economy is expected to be worth almost $500 billion by 2027. So the product. Privy Reviews is a custom-built, user-friendly platform And it's set to be available early or mid-June for early access so that we have creators on the platform ready to go for our official launch in July. I currently have 648 creators on my waitlist and grew this organically and by myself. I got 500 of those creators from launching my beta in January of this year. I have 1,318 followers on TikTok, so I have a little community. And in the past, just the past 30 days with Nano, I have amassed 125 followers on Twitter, and that is growing every single day. So judges, what do you say? Help me make Privy Review's most trusted source for creator reviews and make history in the creator economy. Thank you so much for taking the time and listening to my pitch. If you have any questions, please let me know.
Great pitch. Love the idea, like the parallel of drawing Trustpilot from B2B into the creator economy. I think is very smart. In terms of like pushback, have you seen any concerns or challenges that creators have expressed because essentially they're being rated or they're being graded, and if it's one thing to grade a business, it's something else to let's say Mr. Beast gets like 1.5 rating, like how would they feel? I'm curious to.
So we draw the parallel with businesses. It's the creators community is not going to be rating them as a person. They're rating their content, right? And so they understand that. Overwhelmingly, the creator economy, the creators have been so excited. And I've already I have a creator advocate who's really big on Twitter. Her name is Lauren Turton, who I'm partnering with, who absolutely loves the idea. It's been so positive, and it's really kind of the next thing to happen in the creator space. Creators are looking for new ways to market themselves, get authentic feedback, leverage that already established community to make better content, right? So the people that want to take their content journey seriously are going to utilize the platform.
Brilliant, awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vanessa. Well done.
Thank you.
Cameron, would you like to pitch now?
Yes, just let me get set up here. Right. Can everyone see my screen okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay, wonderful. Just give me one more second. Okay. Hey, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. So I'm Cameron Westland, CEO at Forward, and I'm excited to share our vision for aligning fast-growing teams on crucial decisions. And so this is me at my previous startup. It was an AI fintech. We had over $150 million of assets under management, about 100 people, and I was in pain. And the reason is because I spent 80% of my time building alignment with our team members. So things like office hours, all hands, clarifications with teams on Slack. We had pivoted like 5 times, honestly, and we were under constant change as startups do. But it was extremely painful to me and my co-founders. And so some of the symptoms were, we were losing decisions. We had weak communication. We had constant changes. So just as an example, imagine witnessing a conversation you're seeing in Slack where a manager is conveying the wrong information to an employee, right? Like that's like a classic thing. It happens, but we were a very transparent culture. And after like the 50th time, it would make me feel sick. I felt like a total failure as a leader, even though I was like working super hard to become, a great manager, managing through others, all that stuff. And it wasn't any better for the employees. Honestly, they often felt lost. I reached out to my network, other founders, things like that. And they just basically gave me the knowing look. And they're like, yeah, like high growth startups suck. Like we went from, again, like 50 to 100 people in 6 months. And that's just how it goes when you're trying to change and pivot and you're growing so fast. And so we came up with a partial solution. We started to document everything. It was like Git commits for company decisions. So we had this Notion database, and every time there was a big decision, we'd write it down. We'd write down answer to 5 questions, basically going through the why, because that was the biggest question that everyone would ask. But unfortunately, there was a couple of shortcomings with decision memos. It worked as leaders when we wanted to make decisions, but we were empowering an entire organization. And so I would literally ask people at the end of the week, like, did you write a decision memo? They're like, no big decisions. And then like 3 weeks later, find out they like had made major changes, right? So there's a huge awareness problem. And then as our library of decisions grew, I would literally show new hires, like, here's 400 decision memos, go read them. But like, how would they find these past decisions? They're not really gonna read 400 past decision memos. And so the team reverted to Slack, right? They would ask, why did we do X? Why did we do Y? And this is what's happening in every high growth startup. People are lost. They're spending tons of time trying to figure out what the hell's going on and why did something change? And so when I left that startup, I knew I had this once in a lifetime opportunity to solve this problem much more effectively. And so I merged my AI and startup experience to create Forward. And so let me introduce it to you. So Forward is this AI-driven platform. It tracks startup decisions, it promotes alignment, and it saves you time. It leverages a bunch of specialized knowledge that I developed building data pipelines for a hedge fund. And just as an example, it connects essential data sources like Slack, email, or Zoom transcripts into an AI to identify these decisions, create records for them, and then share them with the relevant team member. So just as an example, imagine there's a day-long conversation happening, in a Slack channel. We would bring that in using various prompts. We'd have an agent that is processing through all of those decisions and then synthesizing it down to just what you need to know. And this isn't a generic summarization prompt. This is specifically focused on high-growth startup decision-making. So it's much more refined than just a general summary. And so this index of decisions is what makes us special because it represents compressed wisdom of your organization. And once we have that compressed wisdom, then we can start asking questions of it, we can start visualizing it, and we can start communicating it to other people. In terms of tactics, I wrote daily blog posts for the last 30 days. So I wrote over 30 blog posts. And then I use that to kind of structure my thinking. And then I extracted the content from those posts to feed social medias. And then just had constant engagement with the target audience. In terms of traction, I had very good top of funnel traction and terrible bottom of funnel traction. So, 195,000 organic impressions. I had no social media account. At the beginning, I literally created my Twitter account a week after the start of the program. I managed to get 7,000 people to the website, but actually getting them on the wait list is a challenge. I think it's that this idea is a little abstract and it's very targeted. And so I really need to get the right people. And so that's my challenge moving forward. One other thing I wanted to mention is, there we go. I'm really afraid of kind of Google and Microsoft just destroying everyone trying to do anything in AI. They're going to do it. Like, if someone's building a startup that is like, talk to your company or, anything like that, like Office and Google, they're going to replace all that. So I've specifically tried to find the narrowest application of AI and tried to find something where, Microsoft and Google don't care about high growth startups, right? They care about, a much more generic form of company. And so if I can solve a misalignment problem for those little guys, then I can expand my solution from there. Just really quick in terms of team, it's just me right now. Besides my AI fintech, I'm a high school dropout, started 3 other companies. I sold one to Autodesk, shut one down. The hedge fund is still going. And so I have some more people who could jump in, if and when I get some traction, but I really want to keep it small because I'm basically traumatized from my 100-person experience, as I'm sure you can get from my presentation. So yeah, thank you so much for your time. Please get in touch with me after the presentation if you have any questions or would like to connect further. Appreciate it.
All right, I'll go and ask a quick one. So, it's basically a Slack bot that monitors all the conversations that's going on within a Slack workspace, right? So, how does the bot know, or what amount of time does it keep monitoring the conversation until it finds out that, hey, a decision is made. For example, some decisions are made over a period of a week, right? So there might be other conversations going on in between. So how does it not get used? How does it stay streamlined and knows that, hey, that's the conversation that was picked up, 3 days ago, and now we are again talking about it, and hey, a decision is made today. And how are these stored? So are there documents created for each decision made, or is it just the conversation with the Slack bot is the interface where we can find out or ask more questions?
Yeah, so great questions. Let me just make sure I understood. First question was like, how does it actually work in practice? Second question was like, what are the artifacts? What are the outputs? So in terms of how it works, the big thing that we're doing is just putting a lot of context into a vector database, right? So the key thing, as you said, is identifying what is a conversation, what is the beginning, middle, and end of a conversation. And so I don't try to do it all at once. My very first pass, all I'm trying to do is identify that exact thing. What is the beginning and middle, end of a conversation? And how do we know that a decision is made? Using the test data that I've been inputting, in practice, you'll get cues like someone will post a link to a meeting notes, and in the meeting notes it'll be like, so-and-so said this, hey, we decided to switch to React Native or something like that. And so it is true that there are long-running decisions, but again, this is where targeting high-growth startups I think really helps. There's a lot more rapid decision-making in these companies, so it kind of makes it a little easier than like when I was at Autodesk and like a decision took 2 years to make, right? Like I'm not optimizing for that. Very quickly, the answer to the second question is, yeah, I am producing another artifact called a decision memo. And literally the decision memo is like, what was the decision? Why did they make this decision? What are the risks of this decision, right? What are the alternatives? And there will literally be blank spaces if it can't find the context. Those will in turn become prompts where I can go ask the team and be like, hey, someone just talked about a decision, but there's like all these gaps, and like someone's going to come and ask questions. My bot can get ahead of it by asking those questions. That's later down the line. My MVP is just focused on decision identification though.
Thank you very much, Cameron. And for the last pitch of the day, Sam.
Here we go. Amazing pitches, everyone, by the way. You should all be very proud of yourselves. Let me just share my screen. Okay, can everybody see what's on the screen? Okay, all good. So without further ado, I'm Sam. I'm the CEO and founder of Ava, an email management and productivity software solution that aims to streamline your email workflow and boost your productivity by incorporating AI into your email. Now, a little bit about myself. My background is in marketing and sales, and for the last 4 years, I've been in marketing and sales, previously running my own successful marketing agency and also working in business development in a website agency. And over that time, my primary form of communication has been email. And I've personally found that email has always been a bit of hindrance on my productivity. I've always found it rather distracting. It causes a lot of stress. It's difficult to maintain a work-life balance when it comes to email. And it really got me thinking. So I started speaking to friends and family and different founders and people within my network to see if people shared my opinions on email. And lo and behold, the overwhelming majority of people that I spoke to shared those opinions. They found it counterproductive and they found it to be a hindrance. So that really got me thinking, and I sort of saw a gap in the market, and I felt email was lacking behind in terms of where everything else is in terms of technology. So I decided to dig deeper, and I decided to start looking at some of the statistics behind email, and some of the statistics blew my mind, and I'll share some of the numbers with you here. So on average, your average professional spends 2.6 hours managing their email inbox per day. And that equates to around 28% of their work week. Now, I'm not sure about you, but that number is unbelievably high. And I think everybody can relate and know that those 2.6 hours that are spent, not all of those are productive. And a lot of that time is wasted through distractions. And really, there's a bit of a productivity crisis when it comes to email, which is where Ava comes in to help solve this solution. Now, by incorporating AI into email, we want to put forward a load of key features which will help cut through the noise and help streamline your workflow. So some of the key features behind Ava is that you're able to summarize your inbox and get an overview of the key information. It's able to float the most important emails to the top so you know what needs your attention as soon as possible. Another feature is you're able to summarize the contents within your email. So for instance, a long, large email thread can be a massive pain to go through. So being able to summarize the contents of that. Another feature is being able to extract key actionable items from within emails and tasks, so you can seamlessly add those tasks to your to-do list. Another massive feature that I think is massively beneficial towards people's productivity is having the freedom to customize the user interface of your email, as email is used differently by many different people in many different industries. And at the moment, it's a one size fits all, and it doesn't apply to everyone. Now, also, we want to be able to automate certain tasks, such as mass unsubscribing from newsletters. That's a task that takes a lot of manual time, as well as automating your inbox with advanced email filtering. Now, the last month's been crazy. This is my first month that I've ever posted anything about Ava. So I've managed to take it in the last month from 0 to 50 waitlist signups. I've managed to gain 2 letters of intent from a social media marketing agency and also another SaaS business. And I've also grown our social media following to over 100 followers across various different platforms. So I look forward for you guys to join us on the journey to transform the email experience. I hope that I can build a tool that serves every single one of you. And thank you for taking the time to listen. If you'd like to see my full pitch deck, then feel free to reach out via email. Thank you, guys.
Hey, Sam. Love the design and website. All the colors and everything looks great in the logo.
Thank you.
Quick question for the monetization. You mentioned there's letters of intent. Is it what's kind of the pricing structure either with customers or businesses?
Yeah, sure. So the business model that we're sort of going with Ava is really it's a bit of both. So it's based on a per month basis and per how many seats you have. So it's able to cater for the smaller individuals, whether it's entrepreneurs, founders who just want to manage their email better, but it can also cater towards, those smaller teams of up to 5 people, but we can also support those larger businesses of upwards of 10 team members as well.
Awesome. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you.
Great job. And that concludes all the pitches for today. Well done, guys. Fantastic. That wasn't easy. It's been really long, a big 2 hours. What I'd love to do next is if I could kindly ask Landon, KP, Deep, and Mark to just give us a couple lines of advice for each, for all the founders here today, some of the standout things that you saw or things you think some of the founders here should focus on. Maybe with a couple of you, maybe focus on startups which are pre-product and some which are post-product. I think that would be a nice split.
I'll happily start. So I think like the one key component of success is constant feedback from your customers or potential customers. So I think this applies to like pre-customer as well as like post-customer revenue, and fast iteration loops based on that. So the fast, because when you start, there's a problem. You're trying to find that problem that is painful enough that someone is going to pay you for your product, right? And so that constant feedback, you're going to kind of be wiggling around the whole time until you find that thing. The more loops you can have and the faster you can iterate, the faster, if you imagine yourself kind of wiggling around a graph, the faster feedback you get and the faster you iterate, the more of those steps you can take basically before you run out of money and find that you've got product market fit. So you're out there trying to do that, get to that as fast as you possibly can. And you keep doing that even once you've got a product that people like when you're trying to figure out what's next.
I'll go next. Yeah, I mean, like Mark said, +1 to everything he said, and overall it was a fantastic show. Great job with the co-hosts. You guys, not just today, have been building this over the last month in public, and it's been it's like drinking from the fire hose, on my feed. Like a lot of your tweets have come through, and it's fascinating to see the energy, even though it's virtual. It's just I'm just very taken aback and really proud of all of your momentum. Two things I want to say about sort of being in your stage where you are. Number one, this must have become obvious, through the Momentum Challenge, to the Nano Challenge. Don't hold back when you're building in public, especially whatever project you're working on in the early stages. You're insanely lucky if somebody remembers your good tweets. So, it's like nobody cares. Nobody remembers your bad tweets or, the things that you talk about in the early stages. So use that as an opportunity first. Test out various styles of messaging in terms of how you pitch the product. So that's number one, right? Be more prolific and don't hold back. Number two is also do not be married to one persona, in your target customers. Often what I've noticed in early stages is you'll be surprised by who's resonating with your MVP or prototype as opposed to what you thought on day one. So let the market kind of pull you in towards the segment that you want to serve most, as opposed to you marrying to this persona and like being so rigid about it. Be very flexible and agile, I think is my only advice.
Amazing. I'll go in order. So thank you. Amazing stuff. I'll not take a lot of time because I have in my questions. So 2 points, great stuff done by the Nano team. I had always wondered, hey, there's micro accelerators, right? There's Andrew Wilkinson. Why is there nothing for nano startups, right? So there we go. Now we have something. So great stuff done by the Nano team. All of you products, great presentations, great products. I'll give a really specific advice because I come from a marketing background. I will make sure that what I give here, and to add to what Mark and KP said, great stuff, great additions, is do not hesitate. Again, it's really specific. Do not hesitate to reach out to your dream customers through cold emails or cold messaging, right? Message KP, message Sahil, Lavingya, Sahil, message whoever you want, right? If they ignore it, that's okay. If they see it, it might change the trajectory of the kind of customers you want to acquire. And trust me, it works, right? If it's not a spam, if it's personalized, if it's customized, if you really want to work with them and you put in time to make it more suitable for the receiver, it works like magic, right? So that's my advice. And thank you for inviting me.
I'll echo kind of what's been said. Awesome seeing everything. Also shout out just to the team for organizing it all, making it all run smoothly. I think it's very easy to like come in here like as just see like the final product, and kind of like the day-to-day gets not undermined, but just kind of like you don't see all the sweat that kind of goes in behind the scenes. So it was really cool kind of hearing a lot of people, still working, or some, maybe most of y'all working like full-time jobs, plenty of y'all with kids, plenty of y'all. So like a huge shout out to all of y'all just for like a ton of progress just in a very short amount of time, even in the midst of like all the day-to-day busyness of life, is super cool and super inspiring. And I'd kind of like go on that echo what Mark said, just like rate of iteration. I think Sam Altman said like rate of iteration is the #1 like predictor of startup success. And y'all have like, it seems like everyone was like iterated a ton and moved very quickly. And I'd say a big learning I've had is just like startups are definitely a marathon, not a sprint. So y'all have had an awesome sprint so far, and a ton has kind of come out just in the past couple weeks. But it's a journey. So echo just kind of what everyone said on just some of the different points made. But awesome to see everything, and wish you all the best of luck.
Thanks, guys. That's some great advice for everyone. Well, Igor and I have been chatting on the side, and I think Igor, we've come up with a winner for the cash prize. So I'll leave it to you to announce that to the group.
Yeah, so let me take this on me. So we've been chatting with Chris for like the last few pitches and seeing what is going on. The thing is that we figure out that our our voting structure wasn't perfect because we see a lot of products at the top who already has some product. So we now understand that we have some people who are more earlier, someone with product, and this product obviously has more votes. So it was like a tough decision. So we decided to do this. We decided to choose 2 winners, and we decided to double the prize. So let's make it fun. So one will be for someone with like product or close to product, and someone will be who is earlier. And the winners are product, someone who has a product, Kavita, Hoku. Let us hear you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Kavita. Congrats. And you really, and one fun fact about Kavita. So you should know something about her. She wasn't in the initial like cohort that we selected, and she like forced me to let her in. So Kavita, you broke the rules. You got the prize. Congrats. Okay. So now the category is with someone who is more earlier, and the winner is Sachin Liprum. I think also not surprised. I can say personally that Sachin like shown everything like that we expected. Like he shown grit. He contacted with a lot of people. He met with a lot of founders. He was on vacation. He was working, and he followed the advice of Deep, and he reached out to my favorite book author, Derek Sivers, and he actually scheduled some call with him. So Sachin, congrats. Thank you. Okay. So that's it, and yeah, thank you everyone. So let me tell what will be next. So first of all, like our guests, our judges, thank you so much for spending so much time. We owe you, really. You can take me personally whenever you want. So I owe you now, but thank you so much for participating. I think we really built something cool here. So the next steps for us will be to select someone to join the later phase, to continue working with you and building products. So we'll announce like winners by the end of this week. So you will also know the winners to the bootcamp. But you should understand that this voting and these winnings, it's all like biased, it's all subjective. We'll do it more public, but you are the winners. So that's what I'm trying to say. So don't be like upset that you didn't win something. I'm really proud of you, and you're a winner because you are on this like meeting today. You're already public, you already created so much content. Congrats everyone, and thank you so much. So I think that's it. Chris, we can turn on the final music, and bye-bye everyone.
Bye-bye.
I was ready to dance.
Let me say
Uh-oh.
Recording stopped.
Okay, so I think that's it. Yeah, thank you everyone. Bye.
See you later. Bye.